Are you good?
I am good.
All right, we'll start. So, I have to do something shitty. All right, welcome. Eric Holman here and Jim Smartin of the real estate team. We thought we'd just pop on here really quick because the Nova Scotia government's new announcement. They came out today, February 3rd, 2026, announcing a new pilot program, the Nova Scotia's first time homebuyers program. This is the second program now that they've come out with in recent years. This one here, it says that Nova Scotia has launched a 4-year pilot plan that cuts the minimum down payment for eligible first-time home buyers from 5% to 2% of the purchase price. This makes a big savings for homes significantly easier, but we have a lot of questions still, don't we, Jim?
Lots of questions. Yeah, so like you said, it brings it down from 5% to 2% and knocks off the mortgage insurance,
Yeah, so the key
which is
information,
great.
who qualifies to be eligible buyers must live in Nova Scotia with
Mhm.
a household income of a minimum or equivalent to 200,000 a year. They have to be able to pass the CMHC stress test still, and they have to have a credit score of equal or above 630. The
I think they can't have
other,
over 200,000 is
yeah,
how
it's
I understand
200,000
it.
or over as a household income.
See, I see it as household income up to 200,000
Yeah.
is how I'm reading it. So it can't be over 200,000. It has to be below.
Yeah, let's here, let me just switch. I'll pull that up so we have that in front of us while we're speaking more. So let's share this. First time home buyers. Yeah, so we should be able to see that there now.
Yeah, there she is. And
So
then you scroll
yeah, so
down,
right
it
here, so
has,
a household income of 200,000 or less, sorry.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Be able to still pass the CMHC stress test and credit score of 630 or higher and be a Canadian citizen, permanent resident, or immigrant with sponsorship letter. No, 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 no.
Basics. And then it's your
Yeah.
price caps are there depending on if you are in the HRM or outside of the HRM. Like, and here's the thing, this looks like a lot of information. It looks like they're giving everybody the full details. But as we were kind of saying before, this is one of those, it's enough information to be dangerous, I think. Is this a replacement of, is it concurrent
Yeah, and
with?
that's the thing is that Nova Scotia just came out with this morning. Every
Yeah.
realtor and their dog is sharing it online, but we really don't have much information because we don't know if this is replacing the old first-time home buyers interest-free loan program or if this is going to run alongside so buyers have options. They can either go for this lower interest rate or lower down payments option, or if they can still do the interest-free loan over a 10-year period.
And does it allow mortgage brokers to access it as well, or is it just all placed on the credit
Right,
unions?
right, because that's something we haven't mentioned yet. Right now, that
Yeah.
Nova Scotia has partnered, the government has partnered with credit unions. So I'll bring up the list here. Basically, that you can go to apply through these directly credit unions, local credit unions. So we're not sure how that is going to affect mortgage brokers because we do know we have mortgage broker contacts, both of us that do work with CUAs as well. But we do know there is potentially extra costs involved when they're going through that route.
Exactly. And again, it's when it's specifically dealing with outside like sources. Because as we and people have seen, we've mentioned like other programs that credit unions had, like the military moving, but that doesn't cost our mortgage brokers that we use outside of the
No,
credit union anything to access and get their people into.
that's right.
Where I feel like it was a big drop, a big information drop without any heads up that it was coming.
Yeah, heads up
And
and further information. Like I said earlier, we don't know if this is running alongside the other first-time home buyers program or if the old version is now squashed and it has been replacing by this program. So there's still a lot of questions to be answered by the government and involving partners.
and one I didn't even think about was like exit implications and renewals.
Mm,
If you were to come in on and do this, like there are people who, when it comes time to renew, how is that playing on your renewal with your mortgage? Or if you are selling and you're deciding to move into an apartment, or you're leaving the province on a posting, are there what are the fees now? Are they the same? Is there something more? Like,
Yeah, so what I've read on this program anyways, which differs from the old program, where the old program was an interest-free loan over 10 years, but if you sold, when you sell, you actually pay the gains that you received from that sale. This one, from what I understand from my reading, and brief information that the government has provided us so far, is that it's not a loan in any way, and there's nothing that needs to be paid back. So basically, they're just going to help you cover lower
yeah,
percentage down payment.
percentage,
The government and the CUAs, or the credit
picking up
unions,
everything
are
else.
covering the insurance. So normally, if you do less than 20% down, you have to pay CMHC insurance as well. This program is supposed to be not, there is not an additional cost. So when these guys sell, from my understanding so far, and like I
Right.
said, we've only received this
Is
morning,
it's just a basic mortgage.
it's a basic mortgage. When they sell, they pay off the lender first, and then any proceeds from there, it's in those buyers' pockets or sellers'
Yeah.
pockets at that point.
Sellers at that point. Yeah. So again, it like you have the nice, if you want to bring up with the old
Hmm.
one to, well, with the current, I guess I don't know if it's gone or not, versus
Yeah,
the
let
new
me pull
announcement,
that
what
up.
that brings up is she looks great on paper. But what I'm noticing in trying to reach out to some people to give me more of a breakdown, is all of my contacts are busy trying to find out what's going on as well, and what any implication is as well, with clients who might, as far as mortgage brokers go, with clients who might fit under the terms. And then also just with CUA, trying to get a hold of anybody to explain it in more full detail has been next to impossible, as I'm sure everybody is noticing. Well, I'll just go what I have for the information, which is it's a pilot program launched today aimed at getting first time home buyers into homes faster by reducing their upfront costs, because that's been a big complaint. I think that's been just going out full volume for the last year and a half, 2 years,
Yeah,
if not longer,
right.
um,
So I
to the
did bring it up
government.
here. So as I kind of pulled together an infographic here. So on the blue section there, on my left, that's talking about this new program with the 2% down payment versus the old program on the right, um, which was the loan up to 5%, repaid over 10 years. Mortgage insurance was still required, and then the HST rebate for new builders. That's something separate, but the one we're talking about is at the top versus
Mhm.
this new one over here on the right.
So, like I said, on paper, if you take it at face value for what was released, it looks great.
Mhm.
Um, However, in the same with the both of us trying to get a hold of a mortgage broker to talk on it,
Yeah.
um, it's been hard because where it was just released, and again, to be just released with nobody really with a heads up,
Yeah,
kind of makes people nervous to talk on something that they don't have all the information on. So I
that's right.
guess what we're doing is saying, yes, it's been released. We are aware of it. But instead of just taking at face value, what we're doing is digging into the contacts we have, where we're realtors, not mortgage brokers, and trying to get the full story.
That's right. So I guess the big thing that we want to make sure is, like, yes, we are on this, we are watching this, we are aware of it, but there's still a lot of questions that need to be answered by the government on exactly how this will work. And that's what we're waiting on now. But we wanted to make sure we get this information out to people so that they were aware.
Exactly. And we will have, once everybody is on the page that we feel confident and competent, we will have a mortgage broker speaking on this with us. And we have it all set up and ready to go. But again, it's one of those cases that we want to make sure that we're not doing more harm than good by just spreading information.
That's right. Yeah, so make sure you stay tuned to our social media. We are going to bring this to our podcast community game plan as well, and have a little bit bigger dive into this with our mortgage brokers once we have all the facts involved, so that we can make sure that we give all the proper information to potential buyers.
Right. Yeah. because that's what it's about.
All right. It's perfect. So, like I said, we're going to keep this short and tidy today, but make sure you keep tuned to the real estate team, myself, Eric Holman, and Jim Smarden. Follow us, like us, subscribe. We're on YouTube, Facebook, social media, everywhere basically that you can
And
find
when
us.
this is on our social media, please, if you have any questions, maybe, throw them out there. We
Yeah.
might have the answers already, or maybe you'll completely stump us and get us working even harder.
And please share this video. Make sure everybody you know, if they're looking to purchase this year, this program might be for them. But like we said, we want to dig in further, make sure we have all the facts, so that when we're talking about this, we're educating and helping people make the right decisions. Perfect. Until next time, guys. Thanks again. Stay tuned.